Welcome to my live. I am Charles, and you're watching Save Our Children TV. I'm back at it for a brand new video. I know I've been gone for a while, but I am back with our weekly videos. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification bell on so you be notified every single time I drop a brand new video on this channel. Also, go hit up my current time channel. I will be posting a video on Saturdays and Sundays, so you don't want to miss it. I got two stories for you guys tonight. Two stories. My first story is going to take us to Louisiana. If you're not heard about the mass shooting, we're going to talk about it. The father who killed, or the evil person who killed his children. I'm on NBC News. This happened in Shreveport, Louisiana. So, a man in Louisiana unalived his 8 children. You hear that right? He killed his 8 children Sunday in a shooting that authorities described as a domestic violence incident and was later killed by police after he fled in a carjacked vehicle, officials said. The suspect's wife and a woman believed to be his girlfriend were also shot and seriously injured in the violence, which occurred at 2 homes in the early morning, Shreveport police said. The children killed were 3 boys and 5 girls, ages 3 to 11. The Cadell Parish Coroner's Office said police had previously given their ages as about 1 to 14. A gunman in Shreveport shot and killed his 8 children, including 7 of his own, and critically injured 2 women. Quote, I just don't know what to say. My heart is just taken aback. Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith told reporters, I just cannot begin to imagine how such an event can occur. Police identified Shamar Elkins as a shooter and sole suspect. 7 of the 8 children were killed were his. Police spokesperson Christopher Bardolon said one of the children was a cousin, according to the coroner's office. The mothers identified the children as Jayla Elkins, 3, Shayla Elkins, 5, Kayla Pugh, 6, Layla Pugh, 7, Markaden Pugh, 10, Soraya Snow, 11, Cordarian Snow, 6, and Braylon Snow, 5, the official said. Shreveport police officers responded to the 200 block of West 79th Street just after 6 a.m. Following reports of domestic disturbance, police said Billline described the crime scene as extensive. The gunman first shot a woman on a nearby Harrison Street before he headed to the home on West 79th Street, where he killed all the children, police said. The gunman fled and carjacked a person at gunpoint near the intersection of Glenwood Avenue and West 79th Street, police said. Shot and killed the suspect in the neighboring Bozer Parish after pursuit, police said. Officers were forced to discharge their department-issued firearms, neutralizing the suspect, police said in a statement. Louisiana State Police are investigating the shooting of the suspect. Shreveport police said nothing suggests any wrongdoing by officers. The gunman shot 10 victims in all. A teenager had 9 life-threatening injuries from falling off a roof, police said. One of the wounded women is Elkin's wife, who was shot in the face but was alive Sunday, and the other woman is believed to be his girlfriend, Bellline said. 7 other children were killed and were found in the home. The 8th was found dead on the back roof, Bellline said. He said investigators were still investigating why Elkins would have carried out the shootings. We know it's domestic in nature. We know his wife is involved, and she is the mother of at least 7 other children, with the 8th being a family friend, Bellline said. A small caliber handgun was issued in some of the violence, and Elkins had a rifle-style pistol when police confronted and killed him, Butterline said. It appears many of the children were shot in their sleep, Butterline said, and most of them were shot in the head, he said. It is disgusting and evil scene, Butterline said. Mac London 71, who lives on the same block, said he didn't hear the gunfire and that he only learned of the killings from a neighbor as he stepped outside around 7 a.m. to close the gate. By then, he said the street was flooded with police and an ambulance, with the block shut down and the onlookers gathering. London, who lives there since 1991, says such violence is unheard of in the neighborhood. Nothing like this has ever happened on the street, he said. It was bad. I hated that it happened to those kids. Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenic said the community is mourning. This is a tragic situation, but the worst tragic situation we ever had in Shreveport, he said at the news conference. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry said he is heartbroken of the horrific situation and grateful for the local law enforcement and first responders. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who has represented Shreveport in Congress for almost 10 years, called the incident a heartbreaking tragedy, adding that his team is in touch with local police. Oken served in the Louisiana Army National Guard from August 2018 to August 2020 as a signal support system specialist and a fire support specialist, but he never deployed and left as a private, the Army said. Oken said a 2019 arrest and conviction of illegal use of a firearm, which likely prohibited him from illegally owning firearms, Waterline said. Members of the Shreveport City Council gathered near the scene Sunday afternoon to pray and ask the community to lift up the family affected. The slain children had a whole life ahead of them, Council Chair Tabitha Taylor said through tears. This is the result when someone snaps, Taylor said. So I'm going to ask the community, along with prayer, with every mental health consultant that is out there. This family in this community needs you. Freddie and Maria Montgomery lives across the street from where the children were killed, but didn't know the family well. They said the family had moved in about 6 months ago. At around 6:30 a.m. Sunday, there was a commotion in Shreveport. Police were entering the home, they said. When they brought all those kids out of that house, they're just the worst thing I've ever seen, Mary Montgomery said. Saturday, Freddie Montgomery was visiting with another neighbor and returning home when he saw a man in the front yard and the children playing outside. He said he waved at the man and the man waved back like normal. When we found out what had actually happened over there, it was just a shock, he said. There was no sense in this. Now here's the news video.
Louisiana, 8 children were killed on Sunday. Police say Shamar Elkins, the father of 7 of those children, is responsible. They say Elkins also shot his wife and another woman before he was killed by police. Investigators are describing the crime as a domestic violence incident. NBC's Ryan Chandler joins us now from Shreveport, Louisiana. Ryan, what can you tell us about what happened, what we know, and what do we know about the gunman?
Well, one of the more concerning revelations about the gunman, Kate, is that he was a convicted felon. Authorities saying they're now trying to figure out how he came into possession of the 2 firearms they say he used in this attack, given a criminal history that would preclude legal ownership. I asked police more about this yesterday. They told me that in 2019, he was convicted of illegal use of a weapon for discharging a handgun near a school zone. And that would mean that he cannot legally possess the handgun or the rifle-style pistol they say he used to kill 8 children in this house behind me, 7 of them his own children, the other a cousin of those siblings. It's just an incomprehensible act that has local leaders here renewing an urgent conversation about the need to tackle domestic violence. Here's a bit of what they said today.
8 innocent children losing their lives as a result of domestic violence. There are no words that can fully capture the depth of this loss.
We don't have all of the answers, but you can rest assured that the work that we started will continue, and we will fight this on behalf of this family.
A lot of mourning, but also a lot of conviction in this community as they just begin to grieve and try and make sense of what happened.
Yeah, Ryan, what are we learning about the 8 children killed and the women injured in the shooting rampage?
Well, Clay, you see the memorial that is growing behind me. This is the scene of the crime, that house there. And all morning, people who say that they are relatives of the victims and pastors have been coming by to lay balloons and stuffed animals. Remember, these were children ages 3 to 11 years old. I was speaking with some people who said that they're the aunts, uncles, cousins of these victims, and they remember them as obviously sweet, innocent kids, part of a big, close family in a close-knit neighborhood, the kind of place that they never expected something like this, something so shocking would happen. So you see the love that they are pouring out for those children now, as the children's mother and one other woman are still fighting for their lives in the hospital tonight.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
I'm never going to get to throw the football with him again. I'm never going to get to hear him say, Dad, can I get this bag of chips? I'm never going to get to hear my nieces say, Gunkle, can I get a nana? Gunkle, you going to work? Gunkle, are you okay? I'm never going to hear that again.
Now at 6 o'clock tonight, just an absolutely heartbreaking scene. Shreveport in a state of shock after a deadly domestic violence act that ends with 8 kids dead, 3 mothers grieving, and the community trying to find solutions to a problem now plaguing this city. That is where we begin this Monday night on the news at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jonathan McCall. Tonight, we continue to learn new details about the investigation into yesterday morning's mass shooting in Shreveport's Cedar Grove neighborhood. Here's what we know so far. Sunday morning, Shreveport police say Shamar Elkins shot and killed 8 kids at a home near West 79th Street and Linwood Avenue. 7 of those children were his very own. An 8th child killed the cousin of those children. Police say Elkins also shot his wife and a woman who is also the mother of his. After the drove to a Bossier City home where he died in a confrontation with police. Tonight, Shreveport city leaders calling this act one of the worst tragedies in the city's history.
Yesterday, our community experienced a tragic act of violence that has impacted families, neighbors, that has impacted our entire city.
We're told the victims are all related and range in age from 3 to 11. The Caddo Parish Coroner's Office has identified them as 3-year-old Jayla Elkins, 5-year-old Shayla Elkins, 6-year-old Kayla Pugh, 6-year-old Kadarian Snow, 7-year-old Layla Pugh, 5-year-old Braylon Snow, 10-year-old Marcaden Pugh, and 11-year-old Soraya Snow. Family members say they are doing their absolute best to try to stay positive despite the tragedy.
You know, I really don't know where the inner strength comes from, but it's there. And I have a lot of people depending on me. So I cannot break down and I cannot be emotional at this time. This is a time to be strong. This is a time to support my cousins.
Elkins' wife, Shaniqua, recovering from her injuries after being shot. Family members calling her a doting mother who celebrated her children's success in school. Tonight, we have live, complete team coverage of this just horrible tragedy. Brenda Till listening to the harrowing 911 calls. Jeff Bime for a government plaza with the announcement made by Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry just moments ago. But we begin with KTBS 3's Riley Curry live in the Cedar Grove neighborhood at the site of yesterday's shooting, where a vigil getting underway right now. Riley, good evening.
Good evening, Jonathan. Yes, right now I'm in a lot off of the corner of on the 300 block of West 78th Street. So just a block over from where the tragedy happened, where the 8 children were murdered yesterday. The community there's an outpour of support that's happening behind me right now. Just in these past few minutes, so many people have come out. There's over 100 people. I will even say more than that. There's so many people out here. I'm seeing people hug. I'm seeing people comfort each other, share positive words. I just talked to one of the members of the family who said that today she's still trying to let everything just really sink in. And, you know, I'm just hoping that today is healing for people. I'm seeing people bringing balloons and stuffed animals. Earlier when I was at the house on the block over, there was already a visual being made, so many balloons, so many colorful stuffed animals. People are definitely, they're hurting. And I think today it is sinking in that this did happen in the Shreveport community. But right now, people are just getting settled. They're holding candles, hearing some music in the background, seeing politicians. I saw the mayor was here. Council members are here. So just gonna, I think this is it's really important. I did talk to some other people earlier who stopped by the house and dropped off stuffed animals and dropped off balloons. And there was a woman from Alexandria. So people from all over. I'm assuming that these people just, who have come aren't just from the Shreveport community. People from all over are just lending support. So that's what's currently going on right now. The program has not started yet. Hoping to talk to one of the organizers in the next few minutes to get some more details about what's going to be happening. I know Chipotle is planned to be served, so food is going to be served. But overall, there's so much support. Councilman Green is walking up right now. I'm just seeing so many different people in the Shreveport community just giving love to the family. And I will toss over to Jeff Vineford, who is at Government Plaza. Jeff, what did you learn from the press conference?
My closing thoughts on this particular story. Well, first of all, there's been an update in this case. I believe a 54-year-old man was arrested for giving that weapon to the trigger man. But before that, the man that was arrested got that weapon from a woman. And I'm going to say this. I think that man and that woman who was toting that weapon, and then that weapon ended up in the wrong person's hands, should be charged, in my opinion, with the unalivings and the attempted unaliving of the family. Because at the end of the day, they played a part that technically caused this. And, like I said before on my platform, if you watch my TikTok at singing and dancing on TikTok, I talked about this case on it, and I said that there were a lot of red flags in this case. And one of the red flags was that the perpetrator had borderline illness from day one. It was never really treated. He went to treatment and never got the rare help that he needed. And there also the voice on the table, so you got to remember that. There's a lot of red flags that were just not taken seriously. Ultimately, innocent children paid with their lives, and I think it's so heartbroken. Um, it's heartbreaking, and it should never happen. I was watching earlier; they had a memorial, and uh, one of the surviving child victims was on, and and to know that that child lost his whole entire um, siblings. I mean, it's heartbreaking. And I said this, um, but what I do know is that the mother was supposed to take the father to court on that Monday, which was Monday morning. And the sad part is that domestic violence um, is a serious thing, and it's never talked about. It's never taken seriously. And I urge that if you're a male or female and you're in an abusive relationship, a violent relationship, and you know that things not going to change and it's going to go spiral out of control, remove yourself from that situation because it gets worse. It gets worse. And ultimately, when you don't move yourself from dangerous situations, especially if you have children, then they can pay the ultimate price for what happened. This should have never happened. This was senseless, and I think that we got to do a better job at knowing who to be in a relationship with, especially if they are toxic, abusive. So again, a lot of signs are missed, and so my prayers go out to Shreveport, the victims, and I hope that this can be a wake up call for a lot of people and an example that it gets worse. It does. And again, prayers go out to the family.